Hi everyone. Today I want to discuss what open source taught me that regular jobs didn't. I think it's a great topic because for me, open source hasn't just been like a technical training ground. It's been a really stabilizing force in quite difficult times. There has been, periods of time where I wasn't inside a formal role. Uh, there was, no company title, no structured team, no external structure and validation. So during those times, open source didn't pause. The repositories were still there, discussions were still happening, and problems were still real. So that gave me like a place where I could contribute and work on. And initially, when I started open source, it was rather exploratory as, what would that mean for me and how it would go. But that mattered more than I expected. It reminded me that growth doesn't depend on being officially placed anywhere. It depends on engagement, on showing up, on caring enough to understand something deeply before changing that. And something else became also very clear to me. The teamwork in open source can be incredibly strong, sometimes even stronger than informal employment. In a job where people collaborate because it's part of their contracts, they're assigned to a team and they're expected to participate. But in open source, nobody is forced. Every contribution is voluntary. Every review, every discussion, every design debate, someone chose to be there. And that changes the atmosphere itself. When people contribute because they want to, not because they're required to, the motivation is different. The care is different. The discussions are often more intentional. And in my case, that matters a lot. When I work on open source, I'm not doing it because it's assigned to me. I'm doing it because I genuinely took care about the system. I want it to improve. I want it to be clearer, more robust, more thoughtful. And that kind of engagement feels different from obligation. It builds a sense of responsibility that isn't forced by hierarchy. It is chosen. Open source also taught me humility. You enter someone else's system. You respect its history. You learn before you propose. You adapt before you assert. You become part of something larger than your individual output. And over time, that changes how you see engineering. You don't see code as isolated tasks anymore. You start seeing entire ecosystems. You see long-term trade-offs. You see human coordination behind every architectural decision. Open source didn't just improve my technical ability, it reshaped my mindset. It taught me to navigate unfamiliar systems without ownership, to influence without authority, and to contribute without needing a title. And maybe that's the most important part, because when you can enter a system that doesn't belong to you, understand it deeply, collaborate with people who are there by choice, and leave the system stronger than you found it, you're not just writing code, you're participating in stewardship. And stewardship doesn't require employment, it does require care, though. And I think that this is one of the most satisfying experience in terms of collaboration that I've ever really had. And I deeply value that. And I do 100% recommend, people to try out open source, to find something that they're interested in first and foremost, and to take it from there, as it's a great opportunity to learn, to expand, to grow, to collaborate. And it's in a very controlled and safe environment too. So I hope that that was interesting. I hope that you learned something new today. And thank you for listening. Take care.